Hey, hey! I got my tissue ready.
Your allergies have been bad.
Yeah, I don't even have Kleenex anymore. All I have is toilet paper.
It's that time of year. For her, especially when the semen trees come out,
Yeah,
she goes nuts.
my allergies go nuts. Well, happy Sunday, everybody.
Yep, it's Sunday again.
Talk about some random shit today. Am I allowed to say shit?
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
I just can't
You
type
can't
it.
say shit. Don't fucking say bad words.
But I can't type it.
Yeah, we can't type it in
type
the
it
thing.
in the title. So for those of you who didn't know what the asterisk was, it's random shit day. I'm drinking this new drink. It's ranch water, which is on the seltzer train. You know, everybody in the godforsaken planet.
It's made by Carbach, which I like their beers. They're from Houston. It's a Houston brewery.
You want to do it?
Where was that? Oh, I'm actually wearing that brewery. Wasn't this in Houston? Where was this at?
Brush Brewery, yeah.
That was in Houston, or on the way to Houston, or right before you got to
The most politically incorrect brewery I've ever been to
yeah.
in my life. If you check out their Facebook page, if you are easily triggered or...
but their beer was phenomenal.
Or easily offended, do not go to their Facebook page because they are crazy.
And not that I'm
hey, Lolo,
sponsored or anything,
Reefer.
but you should go Brash Brewery. It's excellent.
Check them out.
Check it out.
All right.
Check it
out.
Check it out.
You want to do some random shit?
Yeah. Do you got some stuff you need to talk about?
Oh yeah,
First off,
of course.
Ready for your iPad?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right.
Give me control of this spaceship.
There you go. You got it. It's all yours now, baby.
Episode 15. I told you.
Yeah, I forgot you talked about that last week.
I told you I'd have something for those of us who like the men's.
Yeah, you had the...
Last week was for those of you who
you had the hottie.
Who like the boobies.
You had the female hottie. Now you have the male hottie.
Yeah. For the ladies, you're welcome, Lolo. All right, housekeeping. All right. Don't let your dog shit in my yard and not pick it up. Don't let your dog shit in anybody's yard and not pick it up. Don't let your dog shit anywhere and don't pick it up. This is Red's PSA of the week. You are a shit bag if you don't bring your own shit bag for your dog's shit. You suck if you do that.
A lot of times I don't put on my shoes to go check the mail and shit.
Ew, that's kind of gross.
I know, and I didn't step in any, but the day before yesterday, walking out to the mailbox, there was a big old fresh dog doo-doo right next to my mailbox, and I almost stepped right in it.
So when we taught scouts, remember what I used to teach the kids?
If it's your own yard, do what you want, I guess, but don't let them poop in my yard and just leave it there for me to step in barefooted.
Oh yeah, cats. The cats turn our flower beds into their own personal litter boxes. The cats do. We get cat shits in the front flower beds all the time.
Yeah, for the stray cats, they use the landscaping as their whole litter box.
Oh, Lolo's apologizing. Snowmageddon got her because her dogs was pooping right in front of our door.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
No.
I'm talking about walking your dog and just not taking care of it. Not taking care of business.
When we were in scouts, I used to teach the kids, remember, about their portable pocket or their portable trash can?
They still do that today.
Yeah, portable. So I taught all the kids that you have a portable trash can. So if you can't find a place to throw your trash, it goes in your portable trash can, which is just your pocket, until you can find a trash can to throw it in. So, I mean, if you ain't got a shit bag, use your portable pocket till you can get to a better place to throw your shit. Because it don't belong underneath our mailbox.
Yeah. I wouldn't put dog poop in my pocket, though.
It's your portable trash can.
Yeah, I know.
So that's my PSA of the week. That's your PSA of the week. You actually gave me that.
Yeah, she asked me, she's like, what's the PSA? I don't know, but I almost stepped in dog shit outside. I wish people would fucking clean up after their dogs.
Oh, sorry. Are you ready to go?
I didn't see anything.
I'm ready to go.
Was it a sexy woman?
It defines sexy.
Like the one in the maid outfit last week.
I would say no.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, her dog shit in her purse in case she didn't have... Well, I mean, if you didn't bring a bag...
Hey, that's...
Reefer's saying that her ex put their dog shit in their purse.
See, the way I read it is like she picked it up with the bag and then put the bag in the purse to store it. But no, she literally just put the poop in her purse. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Just have some bags.
You got to do what you got to do.
No, I still... Yeah, you picked up your poop, and that's what I'm bitching about is picking up your poop, so...
Yep. Gots to do what you gots to do. Okay, so let me go back to my notes because I got thrown off a little bit there. I started getting trigger happy. All right.
It was inside of Michael's. The dog poop?
The dog pooped inside of Michael's? Now we got it derailed. I want to talk about why there was dog poop inside of Michael's to begin with. Why you got your dog in Michael's?
Well, I guess, is it like the hardware store where you can just bring your dog? They don't have food or nothing? I never see... I see dogs in Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace.
There was a dog at
all
Kroger.
All the time.
I
saw that.
There was a legit poodle at Kroger. No.
But I never see them in Hobby Lobby or whatever, or Michael's. I never thought about the fact that... Like, remember, we've brought our dogs in bookstores before.
Yeah, you just have to ask.
Yeah. Or in the comic store. I'll bring them in the comic store. I just go, hey, are y'all okay with dogs? They're like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So, this week is random shit, and next week is odd creatures.
Odd creatures.
Odd creatures. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do with that, but that was...
I'm going to throw some...
That was a request.
I'm going to throw some cryptics in there, though.
Okay.
They're not real creatures, but they're the fun creatures, so I'm going to throw one or two of those in there.
Okay, well, you can let me know, because...
I'll throw some odd ones, though. I don't want... Everybody knows Bigfoot and Nessie. And...
You don't ever come prepared, so I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay, I might not do anything.
All right.
We'll see.
So some of this stuff is random. Some of it's just weird. Who the fuck knows? I don't even know. So
I did look up facts about the fleshlight.
Thank you. Let's keep those to ourselves. We can keep those to ourselves.
Did you know it was created in Austin, Texas, and that's where the headquarters is?
Are you being serious?
I'm being dead serious. I didn't know that until I looked it up.
No, I had no idea.
All right. If we have time at the end, I'll get into fleshlights.
No. We're going to have to start having meetings before podcasts to talk about what you can't talk about. Okay, so fun fact. I can tell you a fun fact. Did you know if you have a CT scan with contrast, that when they put the contrast in, it makes you feel like you peed your pants, but you don't pee your pants? And they tell you ahead of time, like, hey, you're going to think you just peed your pants all over yourself, but it's a trick. You didn't.
This is not a research fact. She just had a CT scan. So.
And it was weird because they said, beware, as soon as I inject you with this, you're going to think you peed your pants. But don't you worry. We're positive you didn't.
And then at night, she told me that story. And I was like, I probably would have peed my pants.
No, they won't let it. It doesn't happen.
But she said that they make sure you don't drink anything and they make you go to the bathroom first. But I'm like, if I had the sensation of peeing my pants, I would probably just pee my pants along.
No, it feels
with
like
the sensation.
It feels
like not meaning to, you would just do it. Like,
have you ever like peed in the pool and it's just that warm feeling?
No, but now I know not to go swimming with you.
That warm feeling of goodness when you let it go in the pool. That's what it felt like. But then it felt like my crotch was on fire. Literal fire. It felt like someone had lit a match under my crotch.
Somebody call 911.
All right. Here we go.
Don't crotches fire burning.
I don't even know. Let's go.
All right.
Okay, so this one is just because it was random. So I don't know anything about this. But I think that there are people really behind them. Like,
well,
behind
of course
the curtain.
there are.
Yeah. So I like to call this one the handyman.
What is...
I don't know. I have no facts.
Because it looks like there might be a finger missing on one of them hands.
No. Oh, gross. Come on now. Come on now. So this, you're never swimming in my pool again? That's fine. More pool for me.
This person on that guy holding his crotch right in the middle, you can't see their thumb, you notice?
It's feminine. It's a feminine hand.
You know where their thumb is?
I don't know why I did this one. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. I should have known better than to even put this one on there. I thought it would be a good icebreaker. Now I'm just regretting my choices in life. Now I'll move into the real shit.
All right, real shit. Let's go.
That's still mind-boggling, though.
It looks crazy.
They probably had to fight over who got to hold her boobies. Anyway, okay.
Or her poontang.
Oh my god, no one calls it that.
I want to hold the poontang. No. They drew sticks.
No one calls it that. Oh my god. Okay, so this is a really cool one. This is a urn to keep ashes of your dead loved ones, right? But it puts a shadow of their silhouette. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So it makes the silhouette of their face. It's just a wooden urn that has circular, like, what do you call it? Like
carvings.
And it doesn't look like that. It just looks like an urn with a lot of layers to it, and it projects their face. Or the silhouette of their face. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, but It just seems like it would be a silhouette of a face.
It's you wouldn't recognize my silhouette.
I don't know. I mean, a silhouette of a profile of a face, unless you have a very distinguishing nose or something, or forehead, or chin.
Yes, I would recognize your silhouette. They used to make pictures, remember? From the olden days where they just have the silhouette on a black piece of paper.
Yeah, and you don't know who that person is.
You can't see the face? I'm sorry. It's right there. Do you see it? Kind of looks like my Aunt Tina when she was a kid.
I'd point it to you, but you can't see what I'm pointing at. So.
No, it's the silhouette. It's
but
the
there's
shadow
like
on the
the
ground.
nose and then...
Yeah. Turn your head like diagonal because it's at an angle. Profile. Yeah, it's a profile. So when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about cremation, which hell to the no. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm not cremating nobody I love. I'm not participating in any of that shit. But so I can't have one of these because I would no to the cremation. You know how I feel about that.
I know it's stupid, but whatever.
You don't care because you want to be a tree.
Which you need to be cremated for that.
Yeah, no, the one that I saw, they put your body in a tree pod, like in a fetal position.
Oh no, the one I saw, they cremate you for it.
And then make you a tree?
Mm-hmm.
So then you're not even really a tree.
Well, no, but the nutrients from your ashes are still what feeds the tree.
Well, I'm not getting cremated, so I thought I'd share that with everyone. Like you care. Like anyone cares. But no.
I mean, I can tell you what my wishes are. You're not going to follow them. And then I won't know anyways because I'm dead.
Exactly. I should just start agreeing with everybody who tells me.
If you just agreed to it, like, at least then it wouldn't be like you're mean.
I'm not mean.
I don't respect your dead wishes.
I love you enough not to burn you. That's the way I feel about it. So here's a cool kind of random thing that I thought you would enjoy. Hey, Raina. Well, Tim.
Oh,
Raina's
didn't we
got
see
your
that
back.
before? Did we talk about this before?
No.
Oh, if not, I saw this online somewhere.
I've never seen it.
And I was trying to decide, like, how much money would it cost to make that?
Well, what do you mean how much money? It's cotton candy.
Well, I understand, but I'm saying the whole setup just looks expensive.
Why does it look expensive? You need
It
a tray.
does.
You need a coffee cup. And you need a little wire hanger that holds your cotton candy. How's that expensive?
I don't know. It just and you need a little tiny espresso cup with a plant in it.
No, you don't need any of that. That's not a requirement.
I know.
The only thing you need is the cloud, which is cotton candy.
Okay, let me tell you like this. Go to a coffee shop with a barista and order an espresso and tell me how much that thing costs. And now do all this fancy stuff to tell me how much it's going to cost.
Just add $1 more.
That's not $1 more. That's $8 more. $12 more. You know they're overcharging for that shit.
We can do it at home. It literally makes sugar rain.
Yeah, it rains over your coffee.
Look at that.
I know,
How
cool.
cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
I thought you would think it was cool.
No, I did think it was cool, but then I just started also thinking about practicality. There's nothing practical about it. I could just put sugar in my coffee if I wanted sugar.
No, but it's the presentation.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. That's what they're going to charge you for is presentation.
And do it at home. You're so cheap.
I know I am cheap.
I would pay for that.
Yeah, I know.
I would pay for the experience.
I know.
For the ambiance, for the whole thing. It would just
What's the logo on that cup? I want to know if that says who's making that. What coffee shop is that?
Yeah, it just says Millflower or something. Anyway, it looks really cool. I thought it would be really cool because the steam comes up from the coffee and then it melts the sugar. I did read a lot of articles with Scrooges like you that were like, that wasn't. It's just for fun. Why does your donut have pink icing with sprinkles on it? For fun.
No, the pink icing is delicious. It's strawberry.
But it's for fun.
No, like if the sprinkles weren't there, I wouldn't care. I like the pink icing on the donut because I like that flavor.
Well, I don't know what keeps it from getting too sweet, Mother. No idea.
When it's sweet enough, just move the cloud to the side.
Just move the cotton candy away. I don't let our kids eat cotton candy. I call it, you already know what I call cotton candy. I call it cavity candy. They never get to eat it. I never let them get it. You would buy it and sneak it to them. I can't stand that.
I'm just saying, yeah, it's a cool idea and it's a cool concept. Whoever came up with that is pretty cool.
Oh, that's true. Raina says you can make it stop being sweet by just moving the cup. Dirt. That's like a puzzle.
Isn't that the same thing as moving the candy?
Yeah, but the cup just makes more sense, I think.
But when I look at it, I think of that setting, that restaurant, that setup. I'm like, there's no way then people aren't charging $22 for a cup of coffee to do that.
Oh my gosh.
But,
you know what they call it? They actually call that drink because it has a name?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I can remember now. I saw this whole article and I was reading it.
Oh.
And I forgot it was Nah, I don't remember now, but I did read it.
I would pay for the experience. They called it Sweet Little Rain.
Oh, see, no, I didn't hear that name.
Sweet Little Rain. That just seems so cool to me. All right. Can't impress you with anything today.
No, that's impressive. I just already saw it.
All right.
Grower, not a shower. That's me.
I wasn't going to make any comments about that. I was just going to let it go. Okay, so here's a cool fact about the Eiffel Tower. It gets up to 6 inches taller during the summer because the summer heat gets to be about 104, up to as high as 104 Fahrenheit, and the metal at the base expands. And it also starts to bend towards the sun at the top, so it can move towards the sun up to 7 inches. So it's actually pretty...
So with the hot, the metal expands, and then it grows how much?
Up to 6 inches.
6 inches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would not be noticeable at all.
No. I don't even know how anybody knew about it.
How did you know
that? What are you
that?
like, oh, that looks like it might be 6 inches bigger. Measure that shit. I don't know. But I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting. I've never been to the Eiffel Tower. I've been to the one in Vegas at the Paris.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's not the real one. We've been to the one in Texas, in
Paris,
Paris,
Texas. Yeah, we've been to 2 Eiffel Towers.
Yeah, we've been to the one in Paris, Texas.
We went to Paris. We didn't even get out the car.
We just drove to. We're like, all right.
Hey, you see
and we
that?
Just drove
you
off.
see that? That's pretty cool.
We're like, hey, there's the Paris, Texas Eiffel Tower, and we just drove away.
I tried to trick you.
And you were like, did you want to go get pictures? I'm like, no.
I had been there. I'd had pictures.
Nah, I'm all good.
I have pictures of me and Drake and Carter in the middle of it, so I didn't need to go. But it's always 6 inches. Oh, it's always 6 inches. Yep. Maybe only. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. An interesting fact about the Eiffel Tower.
So I wonder if everything metal works that way. Well, you make steel poles. Do your steel poles grow in the heat?
We've never been like, wonder if that pole got any taller.
Y'all should measure them. In the winter and then in the summer.
No, I don't think they do. This is more like lattice iron. It's not solid, but ours do the same thing. Like the thinner ones do go towards the sun. We do have a problem with that on the tops of our poles sometimes people will call and complain, but it's really just the sun, and it'll follow the heat of the sun. We have that happen quite frequently, so that's similar. So, the Eiffel Tower. I'm gonna impress you yet. Okay, this is Lake Superior.
The dead do float. What are you talking about?
Do you know all the Great Lakes? Do you know them?
There's Superior, and Michigan, and like Ontario or something.
Yep.
How many are there?
There's I don't want to tell. I'd have to say them out loud to count. Isn't there 6?
Oh, I thought there was 5.
No, there's. Yeah, I think there are 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got.
So I got 3 of them.
You got which one? Superior, Ontario, Huron is one. Yes, that's right, Mother.
Michigan.
Superior, Michigan, Huron.
That's not. But Michigan, I didn't say earlier. That was the 4th. What was the other one I said earlier? Ontario. Mm-hmm. So I'm missing one. Which is that? It Huron?
No, it's Huron,
Erie?
Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior. Erie. Yes, Raina got it. Erie. So anyway, Lake Superior. The water is so cold that the bacteria needed for a dead body the water's so cold the bacteria needed that makes dead bodies float up to the surface can't form. So very, very, very uncommon for a body to float. In fact, they've had dozens of shipwrecks and all kinds of things in the bodies.
So that was serial killers throw their shit?
I got it off a podcast I got it off a crime website.
Oh.
So, yeah. It says the water's so cold, deadly body will rarely float to the surface because the water is never warm enough to grow the bacteria needed to cause the body to float.
What's the point of a damn lake that cold? I wouldn't want to live on that lake.
This is like, it's a big freaking lake. It's the size...
I know, it's like the ocean. It's like looking at the ocean.
It's the size of all of the Great Lakes put together and even more. I mean, it's got so much water in that
how
lake.
can one of the Great Lakes be bigger than all of the Great Lakes put together when it is one of the Great Lakes?
Well, that's because it's called Superior. What do you mean?
You just said that the lake is bigger than all of the Great Lakes put together.
The water in the other 4 Great Lakes.
Oh, the
all
other 4.
together,
Okay, you just say that.
all together.
I was like, it's one of them. What do you mean? Okay.
The other 4 don't even have as much water put together as Superior has on its own.
I don't want to live on no cold-ass lake. Plus, what continent, or not continent, what states are on this one? What states butt up to this one?
Probably.
Actually, that don't even matter. The states are probably cold as fuck, too. I don't want to live in those states. On a cold-ass lake in a cold-ass state.
A cold-ass lake in a cold-ass state. I'm reading the chat wondering what damn good jokes there are, because I haven't heard any yet. Haven't heard any Great Lake jokes.
Oh, probably we're saying stuff that sounds facetious, maybe.
I don't know.
And we don't even realize it.
No. I don't, I've been to this lake, and it can't even freeze. That's how freaking big it is. Isn't that weird? It's so cold.
It don't freeze?
You can't freeze solid.
Well, there's so much for ice fishing.
You can ice fish on some of the other lakes. It is cold if you go up there in the winter. Cold.
Oh, the Eiffel Tower one. Oh, probably with the erection and the poles and the growth and the 6 inches and the probably. I can see some good jokes being made in there.
I don't know if y'all are ready for the next one.
I try not to make all the jokes and she gets all like.
No, I don't. It's just when you go over the line. You went over.
I don't know where the line is.
You went over it last week, so you know.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
What did I do to go over the line last week?
I'm not going to encourage this. Ready?
Whatever.
All right. If you're watching, you want to chat along, feel free. It's open. You don't have to subscribe or follow. All right. See that?
Oh, and my nickname is Metal. And we're talking about metal extending.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What the fuck is this? Are those fruits?
No, that's Scary Street. In 1976, an episode of Sesame Street featured Margaret Hamilton reprising her role as the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz. The episode played once and then disappeared, never to be seen again, because parents wrote in that their kids couldn't sleep and were too scared and were literally crying, and they had to get rid of that episode. They were like...
So it was just one episode, one time?
Yeah, her broom like fell down out of the sky and it fell onto Sesame Street, and I don't remember the whole premise.
But what makes them look like that?
Huh?
Why are they looking like this?
I think that they all became wicked because she was the Wicked Witch and her broom fell down to the...
And wicked just means show teeth and make eyes big. Put big black circles around
Is that not sufficiently scary?
Yeah, especially Elmo. Look at them choppers on Elmo.
Looks like he's been eating something. Like their teeth are all black too. Yeah, does Elmo really have teeth? Elmo doesn't have teeth.
No Muppets have teeth.
That's true. That's part of what's making this so visually unappealing. I didn't realize that.
But I'm saying, look at them teeth on Elmo. They legit look like a set of dentures or something. Like, that's some crazy ass teeth.
Yeah. I didn't realize that until you said. I was like, why do they look so weird?
They have teeth.
Because they have teeth. Yeah. So Sesame Street, they don't even have the episode anymore, apparently.
I wonder if you can find it somewhere.
How'd you like to see that?
Like, can I look it up and find it somewhere, you think?
I don't know. Let us know. You can post it on our Facebook page. If you haven't joined our Facebook page, we post follow-ups from questions of each week's podcast and tell you what's coming up next. Someone played another whisper for us. Bird needs to floss.
Man, for real. Look, he does got something in his teeth. Do you see that?
Yeah, he does. All right, you had enough of this?
Yeah, I'm over this.
Okay. How about this one?
Ahoy, matey.
When they first invented the telephone, that's how people used to answer it. They used to say, ahoy, hoy, instead of hello.
Why?
Honest to God's truth. Because that is what Alexander Graham Bell suggested. So they would say, ahoy, hoy. And then Thomas Edison suggested hello was better. That it traveled better over the telephone.
That is weird to me that somebody suggested what word to use when answering the phone in the first place.
What else would you say? Would you be like, just start talking? What, you have to say something.
Well, I mean, but hello would be normal.
Greetings.
Greetings, hello, howdy.
No, they said ahoy ahoy. They said ahoy hoy. I don't even know where the extra hoy came from, but it was ahoy ahoy, ahoy hoy. Ahoy,
That's
hoy.
really messing
Yeah,
with my brain.
ahoy hoy. Yeah, that's what it is. Ahoy hoy, can I help you?
Ahoy hoy, can I help you?
When we were kids,
You know what? I wish that they would say this at drive-thrus to me. I would actually like that.
only if it was a fish place.
No, no matter what.
Like
Like
at
if I pull up
Whataburger?
at Taco Bell, I want to be like, ahoy hoy, may I take your order? I want to. That should be a law.
Ahoy hoy. I don't even know where the extra hoy. It's just fucking weird. Ahoy hoy. But we used to say, I bet I don't know if my sisters remember this or not, but we used to say mushy mushy. That's what we were taught. Mushy mushy, Anone. I don't know. I think that means hello.
That meant hello?
Hello, how are you in like Japanese or something.
Mushy mushy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No way.
And then for a long
No
time we
way.
had to
That's-
answer the phone. Thank you for calling blank residence. How may I help you? Like we were a business. That was a weird one. For many years we had to say. Yeah, it's Japanese.
And what was it?
Mushy mushy. We would say mushy mushy, Anone.
No way. I think your dad was messing with you.
No, he was stationed there. He would know.
That don't mean he's not going to tell you some crazy ass shit to say.
Nah, Dad wasn't like that. He was crazy, but he wouldn't tell us crazy shit to say to make us look like an idiot. Yes way. All right. Ahoy hoy. So next time you call somebody, ahoy hoy. You ready? For the next one?
Yeah, see, he told y'all cows are horses. But yet that one wasn't. But that one...
He didn't tell me cows were horses. I was not going to fall for that shit. He told my sisters that.
But yeah, he's not going to tell you how to say mushy mushy and then tell you it means something different.
That was... The cows were horses was a social experiment.
And so it was mushy mushy.
Oh, it was only Billy he told that to, I think. Okay. So, okay. So, this is a Vasa Swedish warship. I thought you'd think that was cool.
That is cool.
That's a pretty cool getup, right? So, what's interesting about that is it was built between 1626 and 1628. And it only traveled 1,300 meters before it foundered on its maiden voyage. The gust of wind toppled it over. Water started going into the gun. You know where the cannons come out. You know, I guess they're called gun holes, right?
Cannon holes on.
Whatever.
I'm sure there's a technical name.
Anyway, it sank, and it stayed sunk for over 333 years on the seabed until they salvaged it. And they brought it and preserved it and brought it to a museum in Scandinavia where it's at today, and you can come see it.
So how long did this thing sail?
1,300 meters.
What a sad thing. No, because just think of the craftsmanship that went into this ship and how long it took just to build it and how many people were probably involved for it to just like move a few inches and go underwater.
And then it just listed over.
I'll be like, man, my whole family left me because of how much time I spent on this damn ship.
I was working all the overtime.
I was working all the overtime.
My wife left me.
They don't even have good dental here. And my ship just sank.
Oh my god. I've been working my ass off. I don't even have good health insurance. Oh my god.
No, but seriously, like think about putting that much hard work and effort and labor and then it just going down.
This is
instantly.
So this is the world's best 17th century ship, world's best preserved 17th century ship, and it's the most visited item in the museum.
I would go see that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go to Scandinavia.
You can't really see in this photograph how big it is, but in some photographs, if you go online, which I always encourage everybody to do because I don't have all the information and I'm not a historian and I don't get all the facts 100% right, but in some of the pictures you can see how big it is because you can actually see people. This doesn't give you a good idea of scale. So I would encourage you to
I mean, that could be the size of a ship in a bottle for all we know from this picture. But yeah,
exactly. So I encourage you, if you think it's interesting, look it up and you can see how big it is and even more interesting. All right. So many of you might have seen this picture floating around on the internet for a few years now. Supposedly it's where the Atlantic and the Pacific meet. Has anybody ever told you that? This is.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that before.
Yeah, so people say that all the time, but that is not true. There's no real border between the Atlantic and Pacific.
I thought that. I thought it was BS.
This is real, but this is not where the Atlantic and the Pacific meet. Where the Atlantic and the Pacific meet, the waters just mix together like normal. it's just, it mixes together. And the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans actually meet at the southernmost tip of South Africa.
Right, but what I'm saying is BS. Is like the images I was seeing and stuff I was reading was literally saying where the two oceans come together.
Right.
You can like see the border because it's two different oceans.
Right. So
I'm like, no, it's all. It would just be the same water.
So
it makes no damn sense.
So it's sort of kind of true, but not really. It's not the Atlantic and the Pacific. Here's what you're seeing. Two different colored bodies of water drifting alongside each other are showing light-colored, sediment-rich fresh water that melts from glaciers, meeting dark, salty ocean water in the Gulf of Alaska. And over time, the currents and eddies mix them together. This really happens. You really can't see this.
Oh, no, I'm sure, but it's not because it's two different ocean names. Like, it's not because there's this ocean and so they look different.
No, it's the glacier water melting off into the salty ocean water, and then eventually it mixed. But you can't see it. But this is not the Atlantic meets the Pacific. So, thought I'd show you guys that because that's been floating around. And then a lot of people will show the boat floating on the lighter part, and it makes it look like the boat is actually.
Man, I didn't have my phone with me. I was gonna take the coolest damn picture Wednesday, while I was at work. There was a cloud that was the size, or clouds that were just together, so it looked like one cloud. That was the size of the entire horizon.
It wasn't in one of our weather phenomenon.
No, this was at work.
The weather phenomenon.
Oh, podcast. No. But the thing that made this weird is the cloud itself, the way it was shaped, it looked just exactly like a mountain. It looked like I was standing in Colorado looking at the mountains. Because it was the entire horizon and the whole thing looked like a mountain.
Wow.
It looked freaking nuts. I was like, man, I need to go get my phone.
Probably a weather phenomenon that we didn't cover. Because there was
it was nuts. I mean, it looked literally like we were just in Colorado. And you're just looking at the mountain range. I'm like, we ain't got no mountains like that in Texas.
Unless an alien took you somewhere.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
So, this is a fun one. Did you know that in the 18th century, tornadoes used to be called twirl blasts and twirlwinds? There wasn't a tornado. It was twirl. That's hard to say. You say it.
Twirl blast.
Twirl blast and twirl winds.
It's like a whirlwind, but a twirlwind.
Yeah, a twirlwind or a twirl blast. Oh, that was interesting. Maybe.
And they just came up with the name tornado.
I didn't look any of that up. I just thought that was... I just thought this was interesting enough, and I stopped there.
Somebody just like, one day just like,
yep.
I don't like that name. What name do you like? Tornado. Like, where did that come from?
Maybe I'll look that up.
There's got to be some scientific reason behind the name tornado or something.
Okay, so there's a lunar equivalent to an earthquake. Did you know that?
Is it called a moonquake? They're
called moonquakes. They are. They were first discovered by the Apollo astronauts, but they're weaker than earthquakes. And they can last for up to an hour because there's fewer tuning factors to dampen the seismic vibration. So once it starts, it can go on for a longer period of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Earthquakes happen because of plate shifting.
Correct.
So are there plates on the moon?
No. So unlike the Earth, the moon does not have tectonic plates. Instead, the moon's interior has cooled off over the last several million years and has caused the surface to shrink. So have you heard that anyone tell you the moon is actually shrinking? It really is. It's shrinking. Unlike the flexible skin of a grape, when it shrinks into a raisin, the moon's outer surface is brittle and it just breaks. So the moon is actually shrinking. It does not have tectonic plates.
I didn't think it did.
No. Moonquakes. Oh, that was really cool. I find a lot of things cool that I'm not.
Would you want to live on the moon?
No. Do you weigh less? Oh, wait. Let me go back.
Technically, your body mass is the same. But no, because supposedly, like, they're like
so
talking
boring.
about. Yeah, that's what I thought. But people are like, no, because they'll have like a whole like. They're almost like
an arcade.
Well, it's not like the moon base they're building for civilization is going to be like a mini neighborhood, I guess. Like there'll be like shops, there'll be whatever. But I'm like, yeah, but you're limited to right here. I'm only here.
And you vacation back to Earth? Where do you go?
I don't know.
No.
But I'm like, people were like, oh, I'll go live on the moon. I was like, I don't want to live on a damn moon. There ain't nothing going on there. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, is Lamb of God going to tour on the moon too and I can go see them? or something like.
No,
It would be boring. It would be so
wouldn't
boring.
want to be secluded unless like it was the only, like it was our only hope.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what they're doing it for, because eventually, like, if the Earth goes away, then we'll have these civilizations built or whatever, or that we can build. Like, it's kind of a test thing, but they want people to live there for a while for human testing, I guess.
Raina, do not let your son blow up the moon. And we'll be in deep trouble, Lolo, if the moon goes away. Big time. Okay. So, in the same vein, what about a space hurricane?
That's not possible.
Yeah, a space hurricane raged for nearly 8 hours.
But it's water.
Not a space hurricane.
Then why call it a hurricane?
Because you're not in charge.
Some days I think I should be.
It says on August 20th, 2014, swirling hundreds of miles above Earth's magnetic North Pole, there was an 8-hour space hurricane. Instead of raining water, the space hurricane rained electrons directly into Earth's upper atmosphere.
And what did that do?
I don't know.
Did it make pretty lights, or like what's all these electrons going into the atmosphere doing?
I don't think you could see them. I don't know. Why do you always have the questions?
Well, no, because the picture looks cool.
You always have the questions I have no fucking answers to. None. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. We should have a show where you answer all your own questions. Come back.
I just sit here with my phone and Google and be like...
No, just come back with all the answers to all the questions you've asked me in the last 14 episodes.
Oh, you don't mean do it as I'm asking them?
No. Like, you should come back and answer all the questions you asked me from the previous 14 shows.
But I'm the one with the questions. So you should go answer them all and then come back and tell me all my answers.
I want to be the one to ask questions.
I can do that for you once.
That was my scared face.
I don't know if I can do as good as you on the slides, but...
Okay.
And you don't know what might show up.
No, I don't. I'm not. After last week, you're not.
I didn't do anything bad last week. Why do you keep saying like I did something bad last week? I'm going to censor
you.
I didn't do shit bad.
Okay. So, did you know deep within Uranus...
My butt or the planet?
I just wanted to say that. No, deep within Neptune and Uranus, there's a theory that it rains diamonds.
Neptune, Uranus.
Neptune and Uranus.
Oh, Uranus. You can just say Uranus.
I'm not going to say Uranus.
Yeah, but that's how you're supposed to say the planet.
I'm never
Uranus.
saying Uranus.
People say Uranus to be funny.
I'm never saying Uranus.
All right, you don't have to.
Never.
Because you just want to say anus.
Nope.
You want to talk about things being in Uranus.
Nope, not true. Anyway, astronomers and physicists have suspected for nearly 40 years that it rains diamonds. The Voyager 2 is the only spacecraft that's ever flown by it, so they can't prove it. It's not proven, but they suspect that all the conditions are right, that it rains diamonds.
Not looking like that, though. Those are cut.
Well, yeah, of course.
So, diamonds are made from compressing coal at
Uranus.
a very, 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 very high...
Uranus.
Right?
Yeah. Sorry.
So that means there's a lot of coal on Neptune and Uranus?
Don't say Uranus. That sounds weird. Uranus. You're going to start saying iron? How did that guy say iron?
Iron.
Iron.
He was saying it the way it's spelled.
Iron.
I-R-O-N. Iron.
We have steel and iron. No, we don't. We have iron and Uranus.
But anyways, so I guess there's a bunch of coal. Coal's not a earthly.
I don't know the answer to these questions. Next slide.
I'm not allowed to have questions at all.
I don't know the answer. But did you know that you can make a diamond out of peanut butter?
I don't believe it.
You can.
I don't believe it.
Yes, you can.
I don't believe it.
Dip a piece of burning hot coal into peanut butter and then freeze it in ice.
Well, then you're making the coal out of... Wait, say it again?
Dip a piece of burning hot coal into peanut butter.
Then you're making a diamond out of coal.
Making it out of peanut butter.
No, you're using the peanut butter as an agent.
Given the right conditions, it's possible to turn peanut butter into a carbon-rich material, diamond. Ha.
But you just said coal.
No, you dip the coal in the peanut butter. You did. It says it's too difficult and dangerous to try at home. So. Well,
then that's something we'll be trying this next weekend.
I wonder if
my middle name is Danger.
I wonder if the coal turns into the diamond or if the peanut butter does.
That's what I'm trying to say. Why are you using coal? Unless you're trying to get a diamond out of the coal.
No, you need something hot.
There's way hotter things than coal.
That sucks, because I really wanted to be able to make a diamond out of peanut butter. And
We can do it.
No, it's not safe to try at home.
It's okay. Danger's my middle name.
Isn't that James Bond's middle name?
No.
Whose middle name is that really?
Mine.
No, but who else's?
I don't know.
Is it James Dean?
No.
Is it?
No.
It's somebody other than yours.
No.
Yeah, you
mine.
stole that. You didn't just make that up yourself.
That's my middle name, Danger.
Who else's middle name is it?
Just mine.
No, it belongs to
Well,
someone.
probably a lot of people. People share. I mean, how many people's middle name is Marie?
A lot, but not that many people's middle names are Danger.
Yeah, not many, but
Except for maybe Jules.
there's not many of us. I'll blow some shit up to make a diamond.
We don't have to blow shit up.
Oh.
We have to dip the coal into the peanut butter.
That doesn't sound dangerous at all.
Well, there was hydrogen and some other things. I might have skipped a few of the steps.
Okay.
I paraphrased. All right, so here we go. Did you know? Did you know? I'm going to do a whole episode called Did You Know? All I have to do is, just like Jeopardy, do the exact same thing, but
that's
say,
what you're
did you
doing
know?
right now.
But you say before it. You just say before everything you were already
Bo and Jim
going to
does
say.
that.
Really?
Yeah, that's one of their segments on the radio show.
Well, I didn't steal it, Bo or Jim. I don't even know who the fuck you are.
Yeah, they're on the radio. Lone Star.
Well, I don't know Bo or Jim, so I'm going to do Dawn's Did You Know? Red's
Right.
Did You Know? Did you know 2/3 of millennials sleep naked?
No.
2/3.
Why?
I actually have that information. I was ready. I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so they're more comfortable without clothes.
Why though?
58%.
What makes a certain age range of this generation?
58% of them find it relaxing, and 54% said it improves their sleep.
And 13% of them have brown stains in their sheets.
It says approximately 15% sleep naked to keep their genitals free and happy. They don't have brown stains.
They got brown stains. They wake up.
Shower.
They wake up with a sheet stuck in their butt crack.
They're too cheap to buy jammies, probably. They're like, this is. I'm saving for my future. I can't wear pajamas. I wonder how many this can't be really put into perspective, because what percentage of non-millennials do you think sleep naked?
Well, here's the thing that's weird to me. What's the percentage? Tell me all over again.
Free balling. What do you mean?
Tell me the whole thing. How many percentage?
2/3 sleep nude.
Oh, 2/3. So not a percentage. Mm-hmm. So that means
70%.
That means 2 out of every 3.
Correct.
Okay. And here's the thing. The thing is, millennials aren't what most people think millennials are.
Just like boomers aren't what most people
right.
think. Yeah.
So like most people, they call people a millennial or them damn millennials. They're talking about like people that are our kids' age.
Which are not.
Which are not. Like millennials are in their 30s now.
Yeah.
You know, late 20s and 30s.
Late 30s.
Those are your millennials.
Late 20s, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And people associate the word millennials with like kids.
Yeah, younger.
And that's not the fact. Millennials are older.
In their 30s, yeah.
And so that being said, that means all but one of my brothers is a millennial. Mm-hmm. A whole shitload of people I know are millennials.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people in their 30s and stuff.
Well, yeah, but you don't go around asking people if they sleep naked.
I don't. But if I did, I doubt 2 of 3 of them are going to say yes. And I also doubt that any of them have been asked this question. So if they've never been asked this question, how do we know it's 2/3?
Because that's how it works. They survey people. You can't survey every millennial. That's how all statistics work.
I know.
Survey says 2/3 of millennials sleep naked. So how many? What ratio of non-millennials do you think sleep naked? Like the rest of the worldwide, like everybody all together. How many people do you think sleep naked?
Like just any age group.
Like just everyone, out of everyone. You know, that has control over how they sleep. Babies don't. Babies sleep yeah.
I would think not many.
Lolo, do you sleep naked? If you're a millennial and you're in our chat, tell us if you sleep naked. If you're a non-millennial and you're in our chat, tell us if you sleep naked. I don't think so. Because I'm always afraid there's going to be an emergency. I'll just be honest with
you. Well, that's
you.
my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want the house to catch on fire and I have to try to find underwear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Or somebody breaks into the house and holds me at gunpoint. I'm standing there with my ding dong out. No, I want to have underwear on at least, you know?
And you're explaining to them, I'm a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, I'm a grower, not a shower. Don't judge.
So Raina's a millennial, and she doesn't sleep naked. And,
Lolo ain't gonna tell
Lolo
you.
must sleep naked because she's not saying. Okay. All right.
I'm pretty sure Mike sleeps naked. Because I think Lolo said something when we were on the cruise
You
about...
can't be calling other people out. You
No,
can't.
I'm just saying, I think Lolo said something about going in their room like, no, because Mike sleeps naked or some
You
shit.
can't be calling other people out like that. Mike, if you're watching the podcast, that was all metal and not the red. Okay. Want to hear some... Did you know?
Probably not, but let's go. Let's have it.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday than any other day.
I don't believe that.
It's true.
How?
Among 25 million Americans who died between 1998 and 2011, 6.7% more people than expected die on their birthday. And the effect was most pronounced at weekends among the young. So among the young and on weekend, birthdays that fell on weekends. Among 20 to 29-year-olds, the excess was over 25% of them more likely to die on their birthday.
How's that even a possibility?
Just is.
Did you know that 37% of all statistics are made up on the spot?
I know you make up all statistics on the spot. So what I don't know if it comes from partying. I don't know the reasons why. I probably should have looked that up, but
That's what I was just thinking. That I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe they're dying celebrate. Like, hey, what do you want to do for your birthday? I want to go skydiving.
And if you're 90 and you're finally getting that birthday sex, you might be like, heart attack. Yeah. So,
No, but that's probably what it is. Like, hey, you know what? What do you want to do for your birthday this year? I want to swim with the sharks.
dead.
I've never done that. But I want to
I
skydive.
want to skydive.
I want to go bungee jumping.
So, do you remember that other birthday statistic that we talked about that I told you and you were like, this is bullshit, and then it really isn't? That if you're in a room with 23 people, there's a 50% chance that someone in that room has your birthday, the same birthday as you. Remember it? It's a... in a room of 75 people, there is a 99.9% chance that someone in that room shares your birthday.
Which makes absolutely no sense.
Meaning day and month. Not day, month, year. Day and month.
Which makes absolutely no... Because how many people?
Yep.
How many people?
In a room of 23 people, it's 50-50. When you raise it to 75 people, it's a 99.9% chance.
And that makes no
It's
sense because there's 365 days in a year.
It is.
So I would be like, if there's 366 people in a room, you have a 100% chance that someone shares your birthday.
So, it's called the birthday paradox, and although strange and counterintuitive, it is 100% true. And we saw this. We saw this on What Would You Do, remember? They even did it on What Would You Do.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Statistically, a room of 75 people. We've seen it done in several social experiments. We saw it done on the, what was that one that we watched on TV? The 100 Humans or whatever. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen that, I don't remember what it's called. It's on Netflix. It's called, I think, 100 Humans. And they do random social experiments.
Mm-hmm.
It's really kind of cool.
It was interesting.
It's kooky. It's kooky, but it's really interesting. Everybody's a number, and then they do all kinds of different social experiments. It was pretty cool. So, anyway, yeah, the birthday paradox. Look it up next time you're in a room. I mean, I don't know if you're at a concert if you want to scream out, like, hey, anybody born on January 10th? But, I mean, it's true. Yep. On Facebook, wait and see who everybody else is wishing a happy birthday. All right.
Ghostface.
So one of our children is completely obsessed with Scream right now.
Yeah, and plus at the horror convention this year, one of the two actors that plays Ghostface, or the killer, in the original Scream, is going to be there, and he's got like the mask he's going to bring and get signed and all this stuff. Yeah. And he just bought a cameo to set as his voicemail. That's the actual voice actor that does the phone calls, or the voice actor that does Ghostface.
Scream. Yep, from Scream.
And actually left him his voicemail, so when you call, it gives a whole voicemail for
So
What's your favorite scary movie kind of thing?
Yeah. And you can't go to the horror convention because if the cruise still happens, we'll be on a cruise because they've moved the horror.
They've moved it 4 times now.
They've moved the horror convention date so many times. And which convention is it? Is it
It's Texas Frightmare.
Texas Frightmare weekend. Yeah, but so he's gonna have to find someone else to go with him if the ship sails. Okay, so according to the FBI's definition of a serial killer, there are as many as 2,000 active serial killers in the U.S. I hate the FBI's definition. I think it's bullshit. And a lot of people are calling Charles Manson a serial killer. He's not a serial killer. Who else were they calling a serial killer?
Well,
he's not.
Well,
he's not.
Well,
no, there's no well to it.
Why is he not a serial killer?
Fight me.
Why is he not a serial killer? Because he didn't commit the crimes himself?
No, he didn't.
Right, but people did it on his behalf.
That's your own business.
Nah, if I can convince 300 people to go kill for me, then I'm still a serial killer of 300 people.
No.
Yeah, the hired man still goes to fucking jail for the same reason.
He's not a serial killer. You can fight.
I didn't say he killed anyone.
He's not a serial killer.
But people kill people on his behalf.
That doesn't make him a serial killer.
So if I told 300 people...
That would make people that fight in the military or in the Great Crusades serial killers because they killed because they were at war. It's the same theory. It doesn't make any sense. And that guy didn't actually even kill anyone. You know who else is not a serial killer? Jim Jones is not a serial killer either.
So if I hire a hitman, then I'm not responsible for anyone's death.
No. Well, you are, but you're not a serial killer.
If I did it 300 times, I would be.
No, you would not be.
Yeah, fight me also.
No. And Jim Jones is not a serial killer. So the definition of the FBI definition for serial killer, which I disagree with.
He didn't kill anyone by his own hands.
Correct.
But he killed a lot of people.
He caused people to die. He did not kill them.
Yeah, okay. But what I'm saying is if I hired hitmen 300 times...
Okay. So David Koresh...
They're only dead because of me, not because of the hitman.
So David Koresh is a serial killer. So pretty much anybody's a serial killer, right?
Well, David Koresh did kill a lot of people.
By your definition, anybody's a serial killer. By the FBI's definition, it says a series of 2 or more murders committed at separate events, usually working alone. I don't particularly care for that. I think that you would need to be doing something systematically, even if it's random killings. You would need to be, because mass murderers commit all of the murders at once, but a serial killer is a person who's needs to be stopped.
They're doing it habitually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you go into a school and shoot 300 people, you're not a serial killer.
You're a mass murderer.
Right. That's different.
Yeah. But anyway, so up to 2 by that definition, which is 2 killings, at least 2 killings separately, happen separately, usually without any help. So there's about 2,000 active serial killers, people that they expect to kill again.
See, when I think serial killer, I do not think 2 deaths.
More, at least 2
Right,
deaths.
But I don't think 2. 2's too low of a number to be the at least, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, no, a series of 2 or more murders. And murders could be like 5 people this time, 5 people that time. But it's usually 1 and 1, or 2 and 2. Serial killers usually kill, like...
Right, that's what, like, she's saying right now. If I came home and found out you was cheating on me and I killed you, then I drove to your boyfriend's house and killed him too, I'm now a serial killer.
Yeah, I don't like the FBI's definition.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I don't like it. But anyway, I don't know how there's anybody brave enough to be a freaking serial killer. DNA is everywhere. Like, you used to be able to get away with some shit because there was no DNA. But now, the DNA is going to get you. Straight going to get you. There's no playing around. All right. So on a happier note, we can debate who's a serial killer and who's not later.
I'm still going to fight you on that one.
No way. Charles Manson absolutely is not a serial killer.
I don't agree.
I do. Yeah, you'd leave hair. We'd all leave hair. There's some people that shave bald and try to not leave hair. Anyway. Okay. So, I tried to spell it. Ba-da-bum-ba-ba. Did I get it?
Ba-da-bum-bum-ba.
It's close enough, right?
It's pretty close. I know what it means.
Did you know?
It depends on how you say it. You could be like, ba-da-ba-bum-ba.
Oh, it's
ba-da-ba-bum.
No, it's ba-da-bum-bum-ba.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Reading it, it could be read anyway. Or it could be like, ba-da-ba-bum-ba.
No, it's not.
Ba-da-ba-bum-ba.
Bum-ba. All right, so Did you happen to know this one?
Well, I know some McRib facts because I'm a McRib fan.
I know. Did you know that there's over 70 ingredients in a McRib? Yeah. Yep. Assuming that its contents haven't changed since 2011 when they last looked into it, there's 70 ingredients in a McRib. And 34 of them are in the bun.
I believe that. I mean, think how much ingredients can be in a bun. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And then if you think about the pork, now the pork is all real pork, but there's still like shit in the pork. You know what I mean?
Fillers.
There's still fillers and stuff, just like anything. But
yeah, I'm not a McRib fan, Reefer. Maybe the summer in the sauce. Yeah, there is that barbecue sauce. The pork is like...
It's pork. It's a straight up pork. They take pork and they grind it just like you grind beef for a hamburger patty.
Yeah.
And then they press it just like you do for a hamburger patty. They just press it in the shape of... to look like ribs instead of a hamburger patty.
A rib that you got in a kid's playset. Yeah.
But I used to always believe the McRib was seasonal and came once a year because for hype.
I think that's part of it.
No, it's not.
It's part of it.
Nah, I learned this shit.
It's still part of it.
Okay, there is hype because of it.
It's not the totality of it, but it is a marketing scheme.
But anyways, what I'm saying is I do believe that in a sense because if the McRib was on the menu like the Big Mac is, just all the time, nobody ever order that shit. You'd be tired of it, and you just would never want the McRib, right? My favorite sandwich at McDonald's is the Filet-O-Fish. Hands down, that's my favorite sandwich they have. But I can't eat them all the time. I eat them like 3 times a year. Because how many Filet-O-Fish can you get tired of it? You know?
You're spitting on me today.
Sorry. But with the McRib, I always have one. Sometimes 2, but 1 when it makes its way back. Because I haven't had one in a year. But I learned that the McRib is seasonal because at the time of year that it's released is when the pork prices are at an all-time low. If they were making the McRib during the summertime, the pork price would be too high, and they'd have to sell a sandwich for $8 or $9. And they don't want to do that. They want to sell it for the McDonald's pricing, so they have to buy it when the pork prices are down. That's what makes it seasonal.
So you say. And
I don't know if this is a fact or not, but it just so happens to be funny that McRib season is around the same time as tamale season.
Yeah, you said
you
this
think that's the same reason?
Other podcasts.
No, I just said it to you in the living room once.
No, it's actually in perpetuity on one of our last podcasts. You say a lot of things that I can go back and show you said, but you still say you didn't.
Oh, I still don't believe it. But anyways.
You think Charles Manson's a serial killer. We don't care what you believe.
I'm not going to... You said we're not going to debate that, so why do you keep bringing it back up?
I'm not.
You just did.
I'm just making sure it's on tape for later when you say you didn't say it. Okay. Let's talk about some Oreos. Some tasty good sandwich cookies.
I'm a fan of golden Oreos.
I know. I saw those in the cabinet. I didn't get any. Like, I blinked, and all of them were gone.
The kids ate the shit out of them, too.
I heard you open the package, and then I saw that you were eating golden Oreos, and I thought, I'd like to try one of those. And then the package was literally in a trash can.
No, they've been here 2 weeks. When I took them down and you saw them the other day, there was only like 1 sleeve left in there.
All right. So did you know, first of all, that Nabisco stands for National Biscuit Company? The N-A in National, the B-I-S in Biscuit, and the C-O in Company.
I did not know that.
So it's National Biscuit Company. So Nabisco wanted to create a cookie. Nabisco is a conglomerate of bakeries that came together into one company. And they wanted to make a cookie that was like the Hydrox. Have you ever seen the Hydrox? It's the same thing. It's a cream-filled cookie. They still sell them at like H-E-B and everything. It's called a Hydrox, H-Y-D-R-O-X. You can go find them still. It was a sandwich cookie, and it was invented before the Oreo. And Nabisco wanted to make something similar, so they invented the Oreo, and they called it the Oreo biscuit. And they sold it to a grocer in Hoboken, New Jersey in 1912, and then trademarked it. To this day, people believe that Hydrox is a knockoff generic brand of Oreo. Because when you go to the store, it looks like, oh, there's some fake-ass Oreos. Those are actually the original cookie.
Oh.
Oreo's the knockoff.
Very interesting.
Oreo's the knockoff.
I love Oreos. Like, I love these kind of Oreos, too. But, man, some about the golden ones are just really good.
I've never had them.
They're really good. They taste like, take away the chocolate and add some vanilla.
So, next time you go to the store, look for the Hydrox.
Or buy some golden Oreos. You won't be disappointed.
There's all kinds of Oreos
There is a lot, and I'm not a fan of some of them. Like, I haven't even bought most of them.
I bought you some peanut butter ones.
Yeah, and they weren't even that great, and I love peanut butter. They have, like, Lady Gaga ones or something.
Yeah. Did you read that? Oreo. If you're our age, can you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
That's the way I hear Oreo. Okay. Want to talk about bananas?
Bananaramas?
Bananaramas.
You can feed them to your dogs.
You can feed bananas to your dogs, apparently. Ours don't want them, though.
Lou will eat it.
I tried to give it to Jackson. He was like, "What you talking? I don't want your banana, lady." So anyway, this is a quick one. Did you know that under a UV light, or also known as a black light to us, ripening bananas will appear blue?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they sure will. There's no difference between naturally ripening bananas or bananas that you ripen, you force ripen. Green and unripe bananas don't fluoresce at all, but a ripening banana will turn blue.
So if it's already ripened, it doesn't either, just during the ripening phase.
Unripe bananas do not fluoresce. The green ones don't. No, if it's already ripened, it'll still.
Oh, then it will still. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ones the way I like to eat them won't fluoresce. The way you like to eat them will. They'll be blue.
Yeah, I don't eat them with any kind of green whatsoever on there. You know why? To give you a damn bellyache. Why do you want that?
I want them solid green.
No, you want them hard and got a crunchy banana. Who wants a damn crunchy banana?
Yeah, I like a firm banana.
I know you do.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right.
Tell me something we don't know.
I eat green bananas. Yes, Raina, I sure do. I love green bananas.
She doesn't eat green bananas.
No, I want them fibrous. I want them...
Yeah, but she eats them while they're still green in them.
I eat them pretty green, yeah. Yeah. I like them when you touch the banana that it's not mushy at all. At all.
Like if you hit your kid upside the head with it, it's going to knock them out.
Yeah, just turning yellow, pretty much. Who hits their kid upside the head with a banana?
I don't know, but we should try it.
No, we should not.
I'm going to throw a banana at my kids next time.
They won't know what to do. They'll just be like, "Okay, Dad." They know what's coming from you. Okay, so Pringles. Fun fact, is not a chip. Just like the Cheetos debate.
Yeah, because the Cheetos debate, I will debate it, that they're not a chip, because they're absolutely not a chip.
Pringles aren't a chip either.
But how is this not a chip? You'll have to explain this to me.
Because it's not made off a potato. It's made into like a meal that's pressed.
Well, nobody said potato chip.
This is just like your McRib. It's pressed into the shape of a potato. All right, so that's not the fact I was going to tell you. The man that invented the packaging system, the potato tube...
I'm going to be mad as hell if he doesn't look like that man. But go ahead.
What man?
The man on the Pringles can. With the big-ass mustache.
No, this is the guy that invented the can, not the Pringle.
Well, either way, one of them needs to look like him.
Okay, well, he doesn't, but he's actually buried in a Pringles can. They put his ashes in a Pringles can and buried him.
When did he die?
He died in... I don't know when. Why does that matter?
Because I'm going to say there's no way that Pringles can doesn't biodegrade into the ground.
It probably does. There's no reason for it not to.
Mm.
They used to be steel or aluminum, so there.
Well, yeah, if he died that long ago.
That's what Mother says. All right, so if you want to find out when he died, his name was Frederick Bauer, B-A-U-R. Look it up. He was buried in a Pringles can, and he invented the Pringles can. So, some cool flavors. Honey mustard, loaded potato, dill pickle, hot chicken, pizza, French onion dip, buffalo ranch. What's your favorite?
I like just Pringles.
Just regular
The
Pringles.
red can, yeah. I just like the salted.
The number one flavor.
Is the red can?
Is the original Pringle.
Yeah, I love that one. It's good. I'll eat the sour cream and onion one, but I don't really care for any of the other flavors. Like their cheese ones that a lot of people like. The cheese tastes fake as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's just and it's too much. Like each side has so much of that orange on there. It's just kind of gross. But yeah, I like the red can. Also, I don't know if they still do it, but for a minute they were doing Thanksgiving flavors.
Oh, really?
They did one can that was mashed potatoes, one can that was turkey and dressing.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
One can that was like a pumpkin pie.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing is, they didn't ship them everywhere. They only shipped them to certain remote locations and didn't disclose where they're shipping them to. So it was like almost a scavenger hunt. People were going to stores everywhere trying to find the different things. And this store might have the turkey and dressing,
mm-hmm.
but they didn't have the pumpkin pie or whatever.
I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
I wouldn't want a pumpkin pie Pringle.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
All right. So, what's your favorite Pringles flavor. Mine is probably...
Oh, you know what?
They have
Before you say yours... Oh, you're going to say jalapeno?
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I do like the jalapeno one, but in small. I'll eat a few of them, and then that flavor gets overwhelming.
I would say that I'm probably a red can. I probably...
The red can's solid.
Yeah, they're
just a solid snack.
If I want to have all these other crazy flavors, I'll go to Lay's.
Yeah,
potato chip.
Or Ruffles or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about airplane food. Did you know that being on an airplane reduces your taste buds by 30%? So airplane food doesn't have to taste good. They just add more salt to it because you can't really taste it. That's due to the dryness and the low pressure in the cabin. When you step on an airplane, the atmosphere inside of the cabin affects your sense of smell first. Then as the plane gets higher, the air pressure drops while the humidity levels out. And it's equivalent to being in the desert. So what was interesting to me, I didn't have time to research this, was does being in the desert affect your taste buds too then? Because they
probably not to the same extent.
Because they put a big emphasis on the fact that the dryness affected, two things affected it, dryness and low pressure.
Right, and that's why I said the low pressure is not an issue in the desert. So you would probably still get some of it from the dryness, but probably not to the same degree.
Yeah.
And also that explains why, well, you've been on a lot more flights than I have. A lot more flights than I have. But you would think that being stuck in that little tin can with all them other people be smelling musty as fuck. And you never really get that unpleasant, musty smell like a locker room or something. I would... And you said it affects your sense of smell first, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's why people aren't funky in airplanes.
I don't know. I've been next to some funky fucking people.
Right, if they're right next to you, but I'm talking about just in general, the odor in an airplane you would think would smell, right?
They have really good circulation.
How good is the circulation?
It's really good. Like they say, even with COVID and everything, that being on a plane is nothing compared to being in an airport. I never thought the circulation would be that great because I figured everything had to be internal. Like they're not bringing air in from outside the plane. And they're not sending air outside the plane because of cabin pressure reasons. So it'd have to all be internal circulation, right? I don't know that, but they said it's perfect. They have superb air circulation in a plane in terms of quality too, because they were doing tests.
I could be your mother said that living in the desert makes you
fat.
So your food. I read it wrong. Makes you fat. I thought she said makes a fast food taste better.
I don't know. Reefer's saying that in Arizona, Coke tasted different. I'm not really sure. I'll have to look that up. But since those are the two reasons given for the decrease in taste buds, I would think that if you lived somewhere drier, that it would. I wonder if you see yourself using more salt.
Maybe.
All right. And Mother said that Pringles don't taste the way that they used to. To me, they do. But
even when I was a kid, they tasted either that or I just was a bigger fan of junk food when I was a kid.
Yeah, maybe.
And so, but I remember Pringles tasting way better when I was a kid than they do now.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like when I was a kid, Pringles, man, I would eat the shit out of every flavor. They were so good. And now it's just like the red can is still the best, but I can't eat a can of Pringles. I can't eat half a can. Like I'm over them, that thick in.
They make the little cans now.
Yeah, they do. Those are much better. Well, for money, it's not as good as a buy, but for a portion, it is. And I won't even eat one of those.
I can't say that I could remember Pringles versus now.
Yeah, and like I said, I just thought maybe it's because I was a kid and I just liked junk food better.
Maybe. I don't know, because Mother's saying the same thing. So, okay. So here's a fun fact about McDonald's. They made a wacky attempt to make their menu more nutritious by designing a broccoli that tasted like bubblegum.
Gross.
But kids didn't like it. They were confused. Kids were confused by the whole thing. They were like, it's broccoli, but it's bubblegum. It failed. And the CEO at the time said that kids were confused by the taste, and it was a failure. And he also said it shouldn't be our responsibility for your kids to make healthy choices. You should be making healthy choices for them. So, but we all know they have the apple dippers now, right? Mm-hmm. And they have milk instead of pop. But yeah, bubble gum broccoli.
That's gross. And also, I can tell you, at least this worked for me and my kids. And my kids are pretty picky eaters.
Reefer, are you spamming emotes? They just blocked you.
Don't worry about Nightbot. I never mess with the settings, so it thinks it knows me. and it's just gonna do shit. But I guess too many emotes is a spam. I don't know.
It didn't.
Oh, she did 3 vomits in a row.
Oh, well, it blocked 36 messages, but I don't understand.
It does. It always says something like that. And it's not no 36 minutes.
That's funny. Oh, well, if you weren't watching us last week, then you didn't notice that Raina got timed out in Taylor because they were having an all caps fight.
Yeah.
And Nightbot did not.
It doesn't like all caps either. If you do all caps, it's gonna block you too.
So she has to write 3 vomit because they won't let her spam us. Okay. So anyway, bubblegum broccoli. That's a big hell no for me.
Also, for my kids, this worked, and my kids, for the most part, are picky eaters, especially Ashton.
I don't agree.
Ashton's crazy picky.
Ashton is a picky eater. There's 5 of them.
And Garrett's not?
I don't know the answer to Garrett. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
But anyways, the trick I had... Now, once they got older, it didn't work so well, but when they were between the ages, like, say, 2 and 6, if you brought them to the grocery store with you and you let them pick the vegetables, they'd eat that shit. Like, if you made peas, they wouldn't eat peas. If you made broccoli, they wouldn't eat broccoli. If you made green beans, they wouldn't eat the green beans.
We've
it didn't
talked
matter.
about that before on here.
No,
we have.
All right.
We have.
Anyway, let them pick the vegetable, and they'll eat it because they picked it. They're like, oh, yay, today we get the food I picked. It works.
All right. So, I think it was a couple of years ago, maybe even last year, that...
she said worked for Red.
Yes, we've talked about it before. My mother used to let me pick the vegetables.
I didn't know that about you.
We have it in perpetuity on our other podcast if you'd like to hear it again.
Oh, I grew up doing... Or not grew up. My kids grew up with me letting them pick vegetables so that they would eat them.
Yeah.
All right.
So, it might have been last year or in the last couple of years, a group of Australian researchers undiscovered an island.
Kind of like poor Pluto?
They actually went out and sailed through the island. So the place was called Sandy Island, and it had been on maps for years, even on Google Earth. If you had looked on Google Earth, you could find it, but they've since removed it. Scientists sailed through it last November. They found open water instead of solid ground. So what they're suspecting is this is an area where there's like a lot of underground volcanic activity, and it creates that pumice stone that floats. And I don't know if you knew this. This is the most interesting part to me. And please look it up because it's so much more than I can share in this podcast. But there's something called the superhighway of pumice stone. I can't make this shit up.
So it's kind of like a floating island, and it may have just sunk.
They think that's what happened. And there's an actual area where the pumice actually comes up, and the wind carries it across the ocean surface. It happens a lot, actually. And
so it may have sunk, or it may have just got blown somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not an actual island; it's just this floating.
Well, it's gone,
pumice.
but I mean, the island was there for.
But I'm saying it's not an actual island because it's just a floating pumice.
Right. It was removed from some of
it's not actual landmass.
It was removed from some of the maps in the 70s, but it hung on in a lot of other places, and it ended up on Google Maps. But they're pretty sure that it was pumice that it is. Do you say it pumice?
I don't know.
Anyway, that it had floated, and in the highway, the pumice superhighway. It's so weird. It's Sandy Island happens to sit along a pumice superhighway, so that happens frequently.
Was that the name of that amusement park that went away over here, in Carrollton area?
Pumice Super Island?
No, it was like Sandy Island or something.
No.
Sandy Shores, something.
I don't know. But I don't think you can see this one on Google Maps anymore. It's gone. But for a very long time, they thought there was an island there until they sailed out to look at it, and there was nothing there. Ta-da! So look up Pumice Superhighway if you're bored. All right. What do you call that?
Well, that's got 2 names that I know of. Hashtag is not a name of it at all.
No.
It's a hash, or it's a pound. The word hashtag just means you're tagging something with a hash. But people call it a hashtag now.
Oh, Lolo's saying Sandy Shores.
Oh, Sandy Shores, okay.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Never.
It's gone. They closed it down, but there's some remnants of it off the highway.
No, never seen it. Where's it at? What highway?
It's around Carrollton, I think.
No, never seen it.
It's off 35.
So it's called an octothorpe.
Oh, that's another name for it. I didn't know that one.
It's the official name for it. And the reason that it's called that is because of the 8 points on it.
No, that makes sense.
Yep. So it's not a pound. It's not officially not a pound. Not a hashtag.
Not a hash.
Or a hashtag.
Right. It's never been a hashtag.
Octothorpe. OCTOTHORP. Octothorpe.
But a lot of times, like back in the day, I remember people calling those a hash. Like some people be like, "Oh, hit pound 42," or they'd be like, "Hit hash 42." And then when people started tagging stuff with a hash, it's called a hashtag because you're tagging. Now people started calling that thing a hashtag.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's not a hashtag. That's just a hash.
Or as Raina and Mother say, a tic-tac-toe board.
It's that too.
Tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. Have you heard about the female freckle conspiracy?
Nope, but I'm sure you're going to tell me all about it.
Well, there's a conspiracy that says that all females have a freckle on their wrist, just like those ladies.
Well, you have 700 freckles.
Yep, but I have one, the predominant one right there.
Well, your most predominant one is a little higher up. Right
yeah,
there,
but it's on the wrist. So, we all have it on the same spot. So, that's a conspiracy that all women have. Do you have it? Are you?
I don't know. I got a big old scar across my hand where it should be. So
yeah,
because I cut myself a lot, not on purpose.
So if you're
cutter.
female and in the chat, do you have the freckle on your wrist? It's sort of over by the bump a little bit, the bump of your wrist. Yep. So what's interesting is there's no conspiracy at all. This is just a simple fact. They just said this is the part of your body that doesn't get covered much. The hand and the wrist, you don't really cover it. It's always exposed to the sun. So that's why most women have a freckle there, because this is the area of your body most exposed to the sun.
So why would you get a freckle, not a man? I'm exposed to the sun too.
It's the same. It's just somehow took off on the internet and people
it took off that it's women, but really men have them as well.
A lot of people have them.
Look, I have one right there.
A lot of people have them.
I have one right there.
Yeah.
One right there.
Yeah. So there's no secret conspiracy. It's just a lot of women have that freckle on their wrist, and maybe a lot of men. Y'all are hairy. Maybe you just don't see it.
Well, plus, look, I literally have a big scar across my hand where it would be.
What did you do there?
I don't know. Work.
All right.
I cut myself daily at work.
All right. So the King of Hearts.
I must ask you a question.
King of Hearts is the only king without a mustache.
Yes.
And he looks like he's stabbing himself. He's the Suicide King, is what they call him.
Well, no, the sword's behind his head.
He's actually called the Suicide King. That's a fact.
Well, it might be, but like that was not original. Somebody nicknamed that and it stuck.
Because the sword's going through his head.
Well, it's behind his head.
The standard English playing cards used today derive from an original French model produced in the 16th century. And they were mass produced. So basically, just a lot of unskilled artists are the reason for this. The King of Hearts used to have an axe, but the axe went away, and now it looks like a sword going behind his head or into his head, if you believe the Suicide King. But that's basically what happened. Among many distortions that took place, the King of Hearts not only lost his mustache, but he lost his axe and came to be holding what seems to be a sword.
And you know, 2 cards also have 1 eye and 2 cards have 2 eyes.
Oh, he doesn't have 3 hands. There you go. Can you see it better? Someone asked, why does he have 3 hands?
No, he only has 2.
He has 2. It's 2 kings. Sorry.
Right. It's a reverse image, upside down. You have to put a line right across the middle. That's one image, and that's the mirror image. Well, I guess not quite mirror.
No. But, yeah, he's the only one without a mustache. Weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Duh. Here's another one you're going to argue with me because you're just going to argue.
I'm not going to argue.
You can't handle statistics. You have a huge problem with statistics.
I'm not going to argue. I'm just going to sit here and listen to what you have to say.
All right, 52 cards. I'm going to make a statement. You're going to...
There's technically 54 cards.
But... You're going to lose your freaking mind.
Okay.
Because you want to argue about anything statistical. Every time you shuffle a deck of cards, you get a combination that has never, ever before existed. Proof. True.
Not possible.
There are more ways to arrange a deck of cards than there are atoms in the earth. It seems unbelievable, but there are somewhere in the range of 8 times 1,067 ways to sort a deck of cards.
How many?
That's an 8 followed by 67 zeros. To put this into perspective for you, Metal, even if someone could rearrange a deck of cards every second of the universe's total existence, the universe would end before they would get to even 1/1000th of the way through finding a repeat. This is the nature of probabilities with such great numbers. You can't argue it. It's mathematical.
It does make sense, to be honest, so I'm not going to argue that one, actually. Like, at first, you think, no, there's only 52 cards. But then you have to think, like, literally the Queen of Hearts could be at the top, and the 2 of Spades can be under, or the 3 of Spades, or the 4 of Spades, or the other 52 cards, and then a completely different card behind that 51 more times, and a different card behind that 50 more times, and another card behind that 49. So yeah, I can see those possibilities. But then I think about this. I think about, let's just say, one city in the world. We'll call that city Las Vegas, Nevada. Where they literally shuffle cards 7 quadrillion times a day.
Okay.
Now it starts to get more unbelievable because...
Did you not hear me that I said that even if you shuffled it once a second...
Yeah, but that's one person.
Right. Now
say 747 dealers 24 hours a day shuffling cards for a living all day long. That's where it starts to... even though it still seems unbelievable, the odds, a lot of cards are being shuffled right now as we're talking in Vegas. And that's not including the cities in Louisiana and all the other casinos in the world and even Reno. And I'm just saying in one place. But
they do use multiple decks in Vegas, so it would make it even harder. But
they don't use 3 decks. If you're playing poker, it's 1 deck. If you're playing blackjack, you go to a 1-deck table, a 2-deck table, or a 3-deck table.
Right, so they do use 3 decks at some tables.
At some tables, yes.
So how do you always come out and say, oh, no, they don't, when obviously...
Well, yes, of course they do at specific tables, and it says 3-deck blackjack.
So I guess those tables are the ones that'll never have cards
those
that
definitely
match,
won't.
And you think that everyone else will. Because you cannot handle...
No, I still
facts.
said that it sounds so unbelievably possible to me that I wouldn't argue it. But then I also just think of how many cards get shuffled in the lifetime of cards being shuffled.
Your brain just can't handle facts. That's what it is. All right. So in the United States, there are 21 threatened and endangered species whose survival is threatened by road mortalities. Some of them include the key deer, the bighorn sheep, and the red-bellied turtles. So did you know that about 200 people die every year in the U.S. due to car crashes with animals, right? And if you take all of the salaries that it takes to deal with that, car crashes, deaths, cleanup crews, all of that, we could actually build animal crossings that would save lives and save animals for less money.
Okay.
The problem would be getting the animals to use that.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to be technical again. I was going to say, what's to stop an animal from just crossing down here? Nothing's going to make them cross right there.
I think that they'd be more likely to cross
They
there.
might be, but...
Because no animal's going to...
But what if there's animals in these trees and they just want to run across these trees? They're still going to do it, right?
I don't know.
They're not going to say, oh, let's go up to our bridge that the humans made for us.
It's hard for me because dogs... I've seen dogs just like with no sense in their brains just go to the end of the road. I mean, like they aren't not even thinking because they're animals just going into the road. Yeah, maybe add fencing, but
now we're really talking some money though.
Yeah, that
fencing all the way everywhere there's not an animal crossing.
Yeah, that would be hard, but I mean, it is proven that these do save lives of people, and that it does help animals. And plus, if the animals get used to crossing there, they'll cross there. I do believe that. But you're right, probably not a squirrel.
Or let's just say a brand new. I mean, animal lifespans are short.
Yeah,
so
for a lot of reasons.
You have a new litter. I don't know what it would be called, but a litter of bunnies. How do those bunnies know that's where you cross at?
Yeah.
They'll have to learn too?
Reefer's saying, well, their mom can teach them. Reefer's saying that you could put fencing kind of to funnel them towards it. I think they could learn, but I don't think it would prevent it altogether. Mm-mm. That's my... But what's interesting is we could save a whole lot of money if we tried it. It works in many places. They have them already. And it does work, especially with deer. And I don't know if that's because deers are just easier to train or... I don't know. I don't know if you're training them. Okay. So let's talk about ants. This is one you've probably heard before. The total weight of ants on Earth once equaled the total weight of people. Have you heard that one before?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So individual worker ants weigh on average between 1 to 5 milligrams, According to the species, when combined, all the ants in the world together weigh about as much as all the human beings. This is based on the idea that an average human weighs 1,000,000 times more than the average ant. That's how they did their calculations.
Very interesting.
Isn't that interesting? It really is. Because that's a whole lot of ants.
That's a whole lot of ants. But man, there's a lot of ants in this world.
There are.
I mean, I'm not just talking about like in our front yards. Like if you go to like the remote deserts, like in Africa and stuff, where they find those ant mounds that are like the size of houses and stuff, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
That's crazy. There's a lot of ants that live up in those things.
So I did a little section on insects. Because I kind of sometimes go off into a theme and then I. So, have you seen the size of it? Yeah, ant piles are huge. Huge, huge, huge. Okay. So, did you know that honeybees have nest mates? And when you go to enter the hive, if they smell you and you're a nest mate, they let you in. But if they smell you and you're not, they'll start stinging you and biting you, and they won't let you into their nest. They protect their nest. So the honeybees actually sting other honeybees. And we know that honeybees die once they sting, so they actually sacrifice themselves to save the nest. But did you know that the honeybee is the only type of bee that dies when it stings? Wasps and other species, they don't lose their stingers.
Yeah.
But other species of bees, it's only the honeybee.
Yeah, bumblebees can sting you a lot of times. Honeybees lose their stinger.
Yeah.
But you know what? Did you know that this is weird to me and I don't understand how this works? But a honeybee has one queen. It has one queen in the whole thing, and she literally is the person responsible for reproducing every single bee.
I don't know enough about honeybees.
No, but you know, if that bee was to die somehow or be removed from the hive, one bee, one chosen bee, and I don't know how they choose the bee or how the bee's chosen, but one bee literally morphs into a queen bee. That's freaking weird.
It's pretty cool. Didn't they? I think they do that in what's that movie? Not A Bug's Life. Bee. What's
Ants?
the bee movie? No, the bee movie. The bee movie.
Oh, I don't know.
They must not have taught us that in the bee movie.
But that's weird.
Is weird.
How does that happen?
That's weird.
And how does the one bee get picked? And who picks him? And how does he get picked? And, and just one bee, one single bee, will literally morph into a queen bee and become the queen bee of the hive.
So, Reefer, that we want to have bees. You can't have them. I don't think you can have bees or bats in our town. It's against, if I'm not mistaken, it was against the city ordinance. But we want to have bees. Bad.
I want bees.
I have some friends that had bees on their cabin in Colorado, and a bear came and took their whole freaking hive, the whole setup that they had. And they had the plexiglass where you could actually watch them. I wanna have bees. And if you what's that book about? The Secret Life of Bees. Read that book or watch that movie. That'll make you want to have bees even more.
I want it so I can have my own honey to make my own mead.
I don't eat honey, but I love the sound of bees. It's very calming. So, all right. So, did you know rabbits don't have a gag reflex and it's impossible for them to vomit? It's impossible. They also have a thin, weak diaphragm. They couldn't vomit anyway because it couldn't support it, but rabbits cannot barf.
Are they like the only animal that can't barf, or?
I don't know that, but they can't.
Isn't it weird not to be able to? Because to vomit is literally your body's natural response to get rid of something that your body's not supposed to have.
Yeah, so I was thinking to myself, like, literally, if your rabbit choked on something, it would die, right? It can't throw up or anything.
Yeah, I guess it would die choking, but what I'm saying is also like it would die just from being sick because it has no way to get the toxins or whatever it is out of the body.
Maybe it does it out the other end.
Maybe.
Birds can't burp, Reefer says. Oh, that's why we would give the seagulls Alka-Seltzer. I mean, I would never do it, but people would give the seagulls Alka-Seltzer.
Oh yeah, I never did that because I was told if you get that they will die.
Yeah, they'll explode.
And I don't like killing anything.
I didn't,
especially birds.
But people did it.
I love birds.
So two more. Dos más.
And then I'll talk about the fleshlight.
No, you're never going to talk about that. No. Dos más.
I got great facts about it.
All right. So at first I found this fact, and then I found out it wasn't true.
Okay.
So
it's not a fact at all.
Yeah, it kind of pissed me off. So, I was told that armadillos were bulletproof.
No. 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 Their armor is not that hard.
So it's not, but that's my fun fact. Armadillos
Are not bulletproof.
are not bulletproof. That's my fun fact that I found for you. Despite reports of bullets ricocheting off of armadillos, they're not bulletproof.
Man, I knew a really, really great fact about the armadillo, and I can't remember what it is now. Well, do you have other armadillo facts?
No, I have no other.
Oh, because I was like, maybe you'll cover it.
I have no other armadillo facts whatsoever. I just saw that they were bulletproof and thought that was freaking cool. Added it to my podcast, did my second round of research, and found out that I was freaking wrong.
I know they like...
Do they carry leprosy? Ooh, that would be crazy.
I know they like Lone Star beer.
Why?
Because every time I see one on the side of the road, they're holding a Lone Star beer bottle.
That's just a Texas trick.
Yeah, I did know a very interesting fact about him, and I just don't remember what the hell it was now. So we're not going to talk about it at all.
Maybe you can tell us on our Facebook page if you think about it.
Maybe, yeah. Okay. It'll probably come to me.
Yeah, probably come to you. All right, very last one. You know what the last one is?
Number one?
The best
or number
one.
2?
It's the best one. Wait, did you know bees make the best Cheerios? Oh, ha 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 ha.
Because they make the honey nut ones?
That's so funny. Okay, so... Number 1 or number 2. The wood frog can hold its pee for 8 months. 8 friggin' months that thing doesn't have to pee.
It must not have to pee often.
It recycles its urea, the main waste component of urine, into nitrogen that keeps them alive during the hibernation and freeze.
I was going to ask if they just secrete it through their skin or something.
No, they keep it in. Remember, they're the ones that do that. Is it? They're a reptile, aren't they?
No, they're amphibian.
They're amphibian. So mammals are hibernation, and so are amphibians. But reptiles are... Is an alligator a reptile? Yes. I think that's burmation. I meant to look that up. But anyway, they don't pee. They keep it in. They hold it in. They hold the pee in, and then they hibernate. They use it to hibernate. They use the urea to hibernate.
All right.
Thought that was pretty interesting.
I wonder if they like to freeze themselves above with their nose sticking out the water too, like alligator.
I don't know. Chris had a frog name. Woody. Oh, what kind of frog was Woody? I feel like this is the lead up to a bad joke. Yeah, during the freeze, you saw the alligators with their nose out, and then everything frozen, and then they went in.
Yeah, alligators stick their nose out, or crocodiles too. They stick their nose up, and then the water freezes over them, and they can breathe the whole time.
Mm-hmm. He was a wood frog. Is this a joke?
He was a wood frog, so they named him Woody.
Oh, Hardy Har Har.
I thought maybe he's just a fan of Toy Story.
That's not a frog.
No, but Woody is from Toy Story.
Yes, he is. All right, so that was my random shit. Next week, hopefully, we can make it back from our trip to broadcast at 6 p.m. We are going out of town to a ranch, and we should be back in time.
Yeah, as long as we do the work during the week.
I can't commit to that. So we should be back in time to do next week's podcast, and if we do, it is episode 16, Odd Creatures.
Oh, I took your thing away.
Episode 16, Odd Creatures. Even if we don't make it back in time this coming Sunday, it will still be episode 16, Odd Creatures, the following Sunday. But we're going to try to make it back in time.
So this will be like odd creatures, as in creatures that maybe you've never heard of.
Or just interesting ones.
Or things that are interesting about creatures you've heard of, but I would rather focus more on like, I didn't know this thing even existed.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. We'll see where it takes me.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to prepare for the podcast, and I don't know what rabbit hole I'm going down until I go down it.
Did y'all know mosquitoes that bite people are only females?
That was one of my facts that I didn't use.
Oh, you did? You didn't get to it?
No, I just didn't. I had a bunch of leftover that I felt a lot of people might know, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's more common knowledge now than it used to be, but...
Yeah, Chris says like the snipe.
like the snipe.
Yeah, there's lots of, and Lolo, you are right, there's lots of unknown sea creatures. So don't forget, you can go on our Facebook page and recommend ideas for future podcasts, or there's actually on here in Twitch, there's actually
on Twitch, there's a link that is a suggestion box.
A suggestion box, which
it's free to use and nothing. You just go there and you can type whatever you want, and we see it.
Yep. Or you can suggest it on our Facebook page. You can watch us here and subscribe, and you can also follow us on YouTube for past episodes, which we haven't put up last week's yet.
I'm going to put it up tonight.
We'll put up last week's along with this one, and we'll talk to you guys in the Facebook week chat during the week and post some of the answers to some of the things we talked about this time around.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Well, till next Sunday, I guess we're done for now.
Bye, guys.
Adios.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Oh, I thought that was for hello.
Oh, we need a good bye. What do they say for bye?
Bohoy, bohoy.
Bohoy, oh boy.
Zohoy, zohoy.
Bye.